I'm meeting Helmut, a wildlife photographer who travels the world, but whose favourite spot is just near his house in Bucharest. The locals call it the Little Delta, as opposed to the Big Delta on the Danube in the east of the country. Helmut is going to show me around this place, which is home to some amazing species rarely found in urban areas, and introduce me to a family of gypsies who are its last remaining inhabitants.
French? Speak French?
He's living with his family in the heart of this place.
Yes, exactly. 18 years.
18 years.
Excellent.
Fine? Good? Dracula. It's the name of the pig? Dracula.
They have a pig, a dog, cats and pigeons, and the house is home to 9 children and 2 parents. They built a shack here in the marshes, and they're the last remaining inhabitants. Isn't this great? And this is still Bucharest.
Then Helmut, what is the story of this place?
It was a normal neighborhood of the city.
Yeah.
Then Ceausescu he wants to redesign the whole city. So it was the plan to have an artificial lake, but seems that it was wrong. So more or less it was abandoned after just one try. Step by step during years, everything changed. The nature conquered the whole place.
And what kind of species can we observe here?
The ornithologists, they count 99 or 100 species of birds.
Including ducks, swans?
I mean, starting from the most common for any city to very rare and protected, like red duck.
Nature has reclaimed the area. Birds have come here to nest. There are lots of fish. There are very few cities in the world where nature has encroached to this extent. I'm heading west to Armenis, one of the few places in Europe where you can still find bison in their natural habitat. On my way, I stop off at a refuge run by Matei-Ionut. He cares for injured wild animals and, wherever possible, releases them back into the wild. I think he has had previous dealings with bears.
About the bear, have you already received some cubs here or adult ones?
We actually had 3 bears that were from the former zoo, and they were moved to Zărnești. I don't know if you know the bear rescue center there. So
maybe I will see them there, because I'm gonna go. He likes to be close to humans.
Yes,
crazy.
This is a problem with him. He likes to be close to humans. So in the wild, he will probably die.
And there is a big problem, there is many people keeping animals in their place, wanting them as pets. It's not the destiny of these animals that are wild species. And
a lynx can catch a stag weighing 100 kilograms. They are real predators. They are perceived as big pussycats, but are more similar to cougars or North American pumas. They can catch animals who are 4 times as heavy as they are. We really should avoid upsetting the natural order of things. Otherwise, we end up with strays who spend their lives in cages. I'm arriving in a very special place. It is a bear sanctuary. Apparently, they take in injured, maltreated or neglected bears who are used to living with humans, and they rehabilitate them here. They won't be returned to the wild, but they will be happy here. There is nowhere else in Europe quite like this. This is incredible. What is this? Is it a control station? What is it for? To prevent bears from escaping or humans intruding?
Intrusions, malicious intent.
What's great about this sanctuary is that it gives them back the freedom that was stolen from them years ago.
Right.
They're released into small enclosures first, so that they can get used to having their freedom. And when they arrive, they're all locked in a virtual cage.
That is interesting.
You get bears walking round in circles for ages, despite having almost 80 hectares to play with.
So they stay in a small area because in their minds they're still in captivity.
In their minds, they are in captivity. Freedom has to be learnt too.
Do you see the sanctuary as a necessary evil? Is it about atoning for our mistakes, which, in an ideal world, will
Well said.
never be
It is
repeated?
a necessary evil.
When we release them and we see them head straight for a pool or to climb a tree, then we have a moment of satisfaction. It doesn't last long, because you soon turn your mind to the other bears,
To the other bears that you need to save.
still in captivity.
It's like a poolside restaurant. They get fed here, and behind there is a pond. Here, it is funny how they no longer behave like the herbivores they are. Bears are 80% vegetarians, not the bloodthirsty carnivores you might imagine them to be. In certain seasons, bears do prey on mammals, but mammals form a tiny part of their diet. These bears will never be set completely free because they might approach humans and pose a potential threat. If they did that, they'd be shot. So this is the best solution for them. This bear seems to have quite a life story. It was blinded as a cub by its owner, who pierced its eyes with a needle. Max spent his life on the road, travelling from village to village with a bear leader who put him on show and blinded him so he could pose for tourist photographs. Here we have a bear displaying stereotypical behaviour. Bears who have lived in confined spaces repeat the same movement over and over, like a tick. The most common one is pacing alongside a fence. It might be in straight lines, up and down, or in figures of 8, or around and around in circles, like here. This bear has 7.5 hectares to explore and trees to climb, but it repeats what it has always known, namely a movement learned in a cramped space. This is nice. The sanctuary has come up with a great idea. It has installed beehives with bees producing honey, especially for the bears, so they have their own honey factory. And it is a well-known fact, especially by Winnie the Pooh, that bears like honey. However, it is a less well-known fact that bears eat bees. This is amazing. Anthills are real bear magnets. If you find an anthill in the wild that has been ripped apart, it is often a bear that is to blame. So, here you have a colony of ants. It is actually quite a big one. What is nice about big anthills is the sound they make. It's a sort of rustling sound. That's lovely to see.